bunch of empty storage units. This is AirHamptons with Patrick McLaughlin, Bill McCuddy, and our one-man band, Jim Turner. You are listening.
Jim Turner.
A round of clap for Mr. Turner. The hardest working man in this room, believe me, as one of the other two. Welcome to AirHamptons. We are calling this the Summer Startup. Welcome to June.
Thank you for having me for June.
Patrick is the
Who am I sitting in
author.
for? Who am I sitting in for?
No,
I don't even
you're
know.
sitting in for you. You're here.
But I'm
It's
not
just us.
Brigitte Leroy.
Well, we've made some programming changes, and we're looking at you.
Thank you.
No,
Oh my God.
I want to rotate different people through.
Wow, is this Absolute or is this, what kind of vodka is this?
Drinking from a plastic bottle, which, by the way, did you see that?
Oh, I did. So,
Plastic
oh no,
documentary?
I don't want to watch it. I grew up in
Yeah.
New Jersey. Like, you think I'm worried about a plastic bottle?
But we're being upbeat because it's all about the summer. We're talking about fashion trends in the Hamptons. We're talking about drinking in the Hamptons. There's a lot of that. We're talking about new restaurants. We're also talking about the movies of the summer and where to go see them. We finally have an IMAX screen, as we've been
Isn't that
talking
cool?
about. Yeah,
That
it's
is
great.
cool.
It's great. I want to see F1 there with Brad Pitt. We're going to talk all about that. We're also going to talk about beach reads. We've got an authority on the best beach reads in Lisa McNeish. She is the executive director at the Bridgehampton Library, the Hamptons Bridgehampton Library.
Hopefully she's going to suggest a book with lots of pictures in it for
She
me.
will have pictures, but she will then maybe a pop-up book.
Oh,
for you.
cool. Like, you know, you pull the
Something
little
simple.
slide thing and the
Yeah,
and the alligator or
something
whatever goes like this.
One of the things, by
I
the
love
way,
those
if you are,
books.
it's Sunday morning. If you're driving out to the Hamptons and you left Friday, you've tuned into the right place because we are going to tell you all about what's happening in June. In fact, the whole summer here in the Hamptons. And
Yes.
one of the things is a bunch of new restaurants that you're
Correct.
going to
I'll
talk about.
that. I'm happy to discuss.
And we have the Hamptons Pride Parade is this month in East Hampton.
Why are you asking me about that?
The chat. I'm not judging, but I'm a little verklempt now.
My husband's gay. I'm not.
I can't. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
We're gonna have. So you'll be at the parade. And he will.
I don't like parades, period. You know, I used to live, remember where I used to live on the Upper West Side?
Right.
Literally right off Central Park West. Thanksgiving, like the parade, I'm like, I'm not going. There's
Well,
too
wait
many
a minute.
people.
Is there an elitist thing about the gay pride parade for people who are gay? Like some people go and some people don't? Is it like a thing?
I don't know. Why, you think I'm like a hip gay or something?
have no
Like, no.
idea.
I'm like one of the tragically
We're here to
undead.
learn.
No, I don't know. I forgot to get my monthly gay news.
You know, as a New Yorker, I've seen that parade a lot. I saw it from the West Village, man. It's very entertaining.
Oh, the gay parade?
It's very
I've never gone to the
entertaining.
one in the city. I've never gone to the one out here.
Yeah, well, I lived there for you, so I mean, I just happened to
I
be
lived
there.
on Perry Street at one point. I
Right,
never went.
right near there. It's
I
very
lived off Central
entertaining.
Park West. Didn't go to that parade either.
Well,
I'm not a parade guy.
welcome to the
But I
Summer
did read
Startup.
Parade magazine, though.
In the
remember back
closet,
day.
out of the closet, I'm your host, Bill McCuddy, along with Patrick McLaughlin and Jim Turner. We are talking about the Hamptons, all Hamptons doings, including the Gay Pride Parade, but also the Hamptons Jazz Festival kicks off.
Do you
in
go to the
Sag
Gay
Harbor.
Pride Parade?
I have.
I'm sure you have.
I think I've walked by it and said,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, what's going on there?"
Yeah.
No, we had to cover it. Remember at Fox News, we had to go down.
We covered it at Fox
Well,
News?
they didn't ask us to, but we
No
were,
way.
No,
Did
we
we
went
ever?
down. We went one time, and just to interview people in costumes. You don't
Are you
remember that?
kidding
Yeah,
me?
I think it was for O'Reilly.
Oh, I'm sure
It was
Els is having a coronary in his office.
No, there's a grave spinning somewhere. For those of you who don't know, Patrick and I both worked at Fox News for a long time.
I got fired.
Wow.
I quit.
Yay.
I quit right after they fired me. I can't stay in a hostile environment. No, I was there for with Roger for like 15 years.
I
The
was
point
6
is-
years.
Yes.
2 promotions later, and they fired
But
me.
as George Clooney said, we escaped. He was like,
We escaped.
Came up to me and high-fived me when we were gone. But we digress as we do often. The Palm Tree Music Festival is also happening in Southampton, June 21st.
Because there's so many palm trees in Southampton?
No, because I don't know, they have a music festival that they call the Palm Festival, and it's happening on the Shinnecock Reservation, and it's going to be there for the next 5 years. They had some rough and tumble experiences last year with it, some teething problems, but they're cleaning all that up, and it's supposed to be amazing. And I would actually give a shout out to June 14th, the Taste of West Hampton Beach, which I've been to a couple of times with my daughter who has that Hungry for Hamptons website. Please follow that on Instagram.
And Instagram, yeah.
It's really good.
West Hampton has some good restaurants now. What is it? Flora, Fauna are two of the ones I went to recently where actually I was really pleasantly surprised. And then there's the Italian one there that's really good too. I forget the name of it.
There's a couple that are really good.
Yeah,
and
no,
they're going to yell at us now for not knowing.
And by the way, West Hampton is like, have you not been to West Hampton downtown? It's like hopping. It's like the new Sag Harbor or the old.
Did they just reopen a new movie theater?
They did. They reopened their theater, but more importantly, they put sewers on Main Street in West Hampton, which allowed them to open.
That was missing?
Yeah, they were septic, like a lot of us out here, and they were able to open restaurants in West Hampton. So now downtown is like hopping. Downtown West Hampton is hopping.
And sanitary.
And sanitary.
Great. Did you know the happiest day of the year is June 20th, which is called Yellow Day? Do you know why that is? It has nothing to do with the sewage in West Hampton.
I don't know why.
It is associated with the summer solstice, the length of the day, the longest of the year, good energy and happiness. So
you
will be happy on the day.
Not one of my favorite movies, but there was one great scene in the Sandra Bullock movie, Miss Congeniality, where they asked one of the contestants in the beauty pageant, "What's your favorite day of the year?" She goes, "I believe that would be April 28th because it's not too hot and not too cold." And then they have a clip of it going on the internet, and someone said it's a happy April 28th, or whatever it is, the 26th. I thought that was the funniest thing.
Can I drop my plug?
Oh, please. Jim Turner jumping in now with something he's doing this month in where?
Yeah, well, I'm doing a concert at the John Germain Library in Sag Harbor in June, somewhere around June 20th approximately.
You're not sure? You're just going to wander in there, one of those?
Going to wander in someday.
Okay,
I mean,
somebody will tell you a day.
By the way, they don't know what's happening. Jim's just planning on going there that day.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to read Shakespeare and then we're going to go up on the roof. But I'll be doing I don't know if it's solo, duo, or with the full band. We're going to rock that joint. And, it's in my calendar. It's either the 19th or 20th. And
all right, great.
You're going to rock this town, town.
Yeah.
The 19th is Juneteenth? Is that when that is?
No, I think that's June 19th.
Isn't 19th a Monday or something?
That's what I just said.
I
By the way, a recent national survey of 1,000 people ranked October as their favorite month, with June coming in second.
Wow.
And I love this.
They all live in the Hamptons.
The poll takers noting, quote, June seems to be the least disliked. Congratulations, June.
The least disliked.
So here we are.
Bill, you're my least disliked person today.
Thank you. And as I said, you're from hamptonschatter.com or .net or .org, whatever, and you cover all things new in the Hamptons. And we're lucky to have you here today.
You are so lucky.
The latest edition has a lot of new restaurants.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Before we get to that, how are you doing? What's going on in your life? Let's get to know
I'm a little,
Patrick.
as they say, fatutzt. You know why? I got a text message. Fatutz. You never heard that before?
No, fatutz.
Fatutz. Has anyone heard the word fatutz?
Is that Yiddish?
I think it's a Yiddish thing. Yeah. My in-laws,
No, it's Bulgarian.
35 years,
Yes,
so that's where I probably got it.
Jim Turner, do you have a Katush song?
No, I mean, I got a.
Anyway, so
I
got a
in New
text.
York. I'm Jewish,
I got a text message from this woman saying, let me. It's kind of wacky. It's really.
So is this real estate related?
No. This is.
Explain that you're a real.
I'm a real estate agent. Oh, yeah, whatever. Anyway, this woman
one of
texted,
2 or 3 out here.
Well, yeah, you can't shake a stick without with hitting a person. So I got to find this. But this woman texted me this morning. She goes, "Just so you know, someone has taken your profile and scamming women." Oh wait, here it is. I don't know if you're aware of this, but someone's been using your profile and created these dating pages or whatever on Facebook and Instagram.
How you doing? Are you getting?
Apparently, some woman gave me money, and
what?
Yeah, and it's just like crazy. So this woman sent me all these profiles this person has started in my name. It's
Okay,
wacky.
so this is happening a lot. This is happening to people on Facebook, especially. It happened to Anne Ligori, our friend who has the
golfer.
great golf and the great book. And it happened to me. On Facebook, people said, "When did you change your name to Anthony Borgia?" And I said, not only is that weird, but I know the real Anthony Borgia in Washington, D.C.
So here's the guy's name, Andrew Nathan Buchanan. And apparently I'm an arborist.
Okay, so now if you're listening to this on
I'm showing
PR,
Bill.
WLIWFM. I'm looking at a picture of, do you know that guy?
Oh, well, these are friends of mine in these
okay.
pictures. But this guy is saying he's me.
Now, who gave you money?
I don't know. This woman said
Did she say how much?
Yeah, I hope it wasn't a lot. But I sent Facebook. I said someone's impersonating me, and I got a
That's
mess.
that's the bad news I have for you there.
Well-
because according to Ann, Meta, which is Facebook now,
Did nothing to
is
take it
doing
down.
zero about
They
that.
they said it
They
doesn't
must
buy.
be inundated with so much scam and so many scammers.
We've taken a look at this page and found that the page doesn't go against our community standards.
of lying.
Like, so this guy's going around and like saying he's me and stealing my photos. I thought my profile was private, but I guess it's not. I gotta change my security
Do you
settings.
like your fake profile better than your real one?
You know, he seems more fun than I am. You know, it's like,
maybe.
and I like his name. That's
Maybe
kind of
they're
a cool
trying
name.
to tell you something.
Andrew Nathan Buchanan.
It's
I mean,
very-
that's better than Patrick McLaughlin.
It's
Don't you think
very
it's like,
meta. All right.
but isn't that cray cray?
Like, it is very crazy.
Like-
Later in the hour, we're going to talk about summer 2025 fashion trends. Spoiler alert, the 90s are coming back. That doesn't sound good. Also, we've been hearing all year long that drinking is down. We'll tell you by how much.
Well, you
And
know what? As someone said to me about the Hamptons, in the Hamptons, in the winter, there's nothing to do. So you drink a lot. In the summer, there's always something to do. So you drink a lot. Like, and then have you ever seen the bumper sticker for Montauk? Montauk, a drinking village with a fishing problem,
Yeah.
which
I
I
have
thought
not
was
seen
great.
that.
And it's actually true.
Okay, we're going to talk about Montauk, what's going on out there this summer. But first, let's bring our first guest over. Let's play a little book reading music from Jim Turner, something from the musical book of Jim Turner, as we say hi to Lisa McKinney. Lisa is a regular here at LTV and probably on WLIW-FM as well. And she's the executive director at the Bridgehampton Library. And we are going to talk about summer beach reads. And we're also going to talk about, as I said earlier, Fridays at 5, which is one of my favorite, let me just get this out of the way, one of my favorite events, not because I've emceed or moderated a couple, but
Yeah,
because
that has nothing
it's
to
at
do with
5
that,
No, seriously.
nothing.
It's at 5 o'clock on a Friday,
Right.
which means, and if everything goes wrong, it's over at 6:30. You can buy the books if you want. You can hear the authors discuss the books, and you're done at 6:30. And it, as I said in a recent fundraiser, it celebrates that great old tradition of day drinking. And so there's wine served, there's books talked about, and some of those books we're going to tease as some
I
of these.
love that book.
But welcome, Lisa, and
Lisa.
thanks for joining us.
I hope I didn't scare you off, Lisa, because
Not
you're
at all.
used to Bill.
Not at all. Happy to be here. Well, I brought my summer reading list.
Oh, good. What do you like?
cool.
What's
I'd like to
coming
hear
out?
about that. So top of my list is Carl Hyacin, Fever
Oh.
Beach. He is so funny.
Fever Beach.
Fever Beach.
Okay.
It's a
think
mystery.
I've been
It
there.
has everything.
I've never read a Carl Hyacin book,
Funny.
and I hear
Yes.
people keep saying you have to read him.
Yes, laugh out loud, funny, satire. So it has everything I like.
And that's in libraries and bookstores now.
I'm not sure if it's there now, but
And
or
it-
it will be there. It's for
Okay.
summer. It's a mystery. It's a political satire. Very funny, and there's murder. It's all the good stuff.
Mrs. McCuddy is there.
Yes.
By the way, do
Okay.
librarians read summer books or do you take it off like teachers?
Oh no, we read all the time. We
Good.
do not stop.
Okay, good.
There's a reason you're not a librarian, Bill.
Well, there's many.
Okay, and so for the moms at the beach with their little children running around,
Yeah.
we have a coming out in the summer. It's called Tantrum. Tantrum by Rachel Eve Moulton. You think your child's a monster. In this book, the baby is a monster.
Oh.
It's a horror book.
Like
That's
Rosemary's
what,
Like,
Baby.
or the
Yeah, I
demon
like that.
seed or
So,
whatever.
Yeah.
Can't wait. I can't wait for that one. And then we have Pan.
PAN.
Pan by Michael Clune. 15-year-old going through some stuff. All of a sudden, he starts thinking he is possessed by the Greek god Pan. And it's supposed to be very funny.
Oh.
So that sounds good.
I wouldn't even know what Greek god like to.
Well, you'll have to
There
look
you go.
that one up. And a book that I'm reading right now that does not come out until June 17th, and it's one of our Fridays at 5 authors, Rue Matheson, Woman with
A local.
Eyes Closed. It's fantastic. I'm really enjoying it. It starts out in Rotterdam with an art heist with a couple of high school students and a couple other people. And then it segues to Sagaponack,
Ooh.
where there's a Russian oligarch and there's some local farmers and some hedge fund guys, and maybe the Monet or Picasso ended up in Sagaponack. It's a fantastic book.
Patrick wants to know who sold him the house.
It's in the book. It's in the book, so that's good. So that's
That sounds like a
Woman with Eyes-
movie.
Yeah, it could be, but that's
And that
Rue
is a-
Matheson.
sorry,
that
that
is
is
a
a
Fridays at 5
okay.
book, yep. And maybe one other, Katabasis. R.F. Kuang, who wrote Yellowface and Babel, hugely popular author. This is sort of a fantasy, satire, philosophy. 2 grad students have to go to the underworld to rescue their professor.
Oh.
Doesn't that sound great?
Yeah. That's extra credit.
Does this
So
show have a
those are my-
website? We should put all these books on a website.
Yes,
so
we'll
people
put something on a website. I promise.
God.
Yeah, so
No, these are great.
Tell us about when Fridays at 5 started and whose idea
Okay.
this was, and then we can talk
So-
about some more books maybe.
So Fridays at 5, we are celebrating our 41st summer.
Wow.
So it was
before
really-
I was born.
Yes. One of the first literary events out here, I think. So 41 years. It started, I believe, by the Friends of the Library, which is a nonprofit volunteer group. That's all they do is raise funds for the library. We love our friends. What's better than a good friend?
Apparently nothing. You need dough.
They're wonderful volunteers that get the authors, they plan the events. We'll start off in July with Kelly Corrigan, Marianne the Maker. It's actually a children's book for adults about creativity and your superstructured life and what you want to do to fix that. Then we have July 18th, Chris Pavone, it's a pulse-pounding novel. I highlighted that.
That's right.
Pulse-pounding novel called Doorman. There you go. You scared me for a
Oh,
second.
We do our own sound effects.
Doorman, a novel. That's it.
Do you tip it at the end?
Yeah, I think Chris Pavone might have been a part of the Hamptons who done it. This is
Maybe.
this is
yeah,
a
I
mystery.
think you're right. Yeah.
This is sort of, he's a doorman at the Bohemian, this very
Where's
famous
the
apartment
Bohemian?
house. I think it's fictional.
Oh, okay. I'm like
not
going. I should have
sure.
known that building
But the
It's
doorman's.
across from the Dakota and around the corner.
from the Majestic.
Yes. Then we have July 25th, Eleanor Lipman, delightful, laugh out loud comedy who had written Misdemeanor. She will be here with Every Tom, Dick, and Harry, a novel. She's going to be delightful. Then August 1st, we have Rue Matheson with her Castles and Ruins memoir, which is another book that I also read. Fantastic. So that is exquisitely written. We're going to love having Rue there. Then August 8th, Colum Toibin, who wrote Brooklyn, which a movie was made out of a bunch of years ago.
wonderful.
So one of the characters from Brooklyn, Eilish Lacey, is in this book, Long Island, a novel. Can't wait to read it. Can't wait to hear
If
about
I
it.
recall that movie correctly, she came over, fell in love with somebody, then went back, and then did she come back to Brooklyn? Or I don't remember how it ends, but this is sort of the
She's in
ongoing
this.
story of.
She got a
Right,
ticket
she's
on the
back.
Titanic, and she met this guy named Jack Dawson, and the rest is all history. Anyway.
Yeah.
She made it, he didn't.
And then our final Fridays at 5 is Tim Weiner, who was a New York Times correspondent, Pulitzer Prize winner, National Book Award winner, a book about the CIA. Ooh. It's called The Mission, the CIA in the 21st Century. So he has lots of on-the-record interviews with former CIA directors, spy masters, station chiefs, officers. So we're very, very excited to hear
Hopefully
about
we'll
these
still have a
interviews.
CIA by the end of the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do most of these authors live out here? I did
lot
it with
do.
Janice Min, I want to say, a couple of summers ago, and she wasn't from here. She came in to do it. But people like Bill Boggs, Katie Couric, have done it, and they do have summer places out here. Is that an easier ask? And
Yes.
Yeah.
It's an easier ask. But our friends have lots of connections in the literary world, and who wouldn't want to come out to the summer to Bridgehampton for a weekend?
Tell people who've never been what it's not in the library unless it's
Yes,
pouring rain.
right.
It's
It's
out back.
outside. It's in our beautiful back lawn.
Gorgeous back lawn.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
It's sort of a little oasis back there. It is. So you buy a ticket, you come back there, have a little appetizer. Our local restaurants will donate food.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
we have wine and.
What kind of wine?
Eric from Almond.
Don't know.
You know, if it's a good wine, make more
It's
of it
good.
raw.
We
It's
should
good.
give Almond a shout out because
Almond.
they are one of the participating restaurants that helps Fridays at 5, and they did your fundraiser a couple months ago.
Yes, that you were our MC. It was fabulous with Alec Baldwin. We
I'm
had
a
the
stunt.
Bill was the
best
MC?
time.
Well,
Yes.
How did he
He
do?
made the evening.
No,
Yeah,
So funny.
How many tickets did you have
You
to
know what I
refund?
did? I brought a bag of DVDs and tried to auction them off. Nothing.
Oh, God.
Zippo. Nobody has a DVD player anymore, so we gave them away. We threw them like coasters. But
Back
no,
in
it
the
was
day.
lovely, and Alec was very funny and very open about a lot of things, and one of which is that television show he's doing in the Hamptons still this summer, called the Baldwins, where Hilaria clearly has
I have
the
not
pants
seen it.
on in that family, and he doesn't seem to care. He just goes with the flow of these. What is he? I think it's 25 kids. How many kids does he have?
Something like that.
About that. About that.
I got to tell you, he's so. I'm a fan of his because not only do I think he's a really cool actor, but he's so active in the community. You see, like, he's really and very approachable when people. He's a very decent man. I like him quite a bit, and I love that he's so involved in the community here, more so than a lot of.
And he alluded to the shadow that's over the family because of what happened, and we moved through that and kept going. And that film, as you know, came out last month, and the proceeds from that are benefiting the family. But the important thing is
The cinematographer
the
side,
legacy
or the
of the
DP, yeah.
cinematographer and their family have said it was one of the most beautiful things she shot, and so they want everyone to see the movie, as I'm sure Alec does too. But asking him about it didn't seem like the time or place, but he was extremely giving and funny and had great anecdotes, one of which was about the movie he did with Anthony Hopkins.
Oh,
and
that's was it
Edge?
The Edge? The
Yeah.
Edge, and he did O'Reilly, a junket with O'Reilly.
There was an African American actor in that whose name escapes me for a moment, but he walked in and saw me and Sir Anthony Hopkins and said, "Oh, I wonder which one of us the bear is going to eat first."
Oh, very funny. But you know what? I remember O'Reilly went to that junket, and it didn't go well. Surprise, surprise.
What a-
Kel Sapri. Now listen,
we digress.
but Lisa, let me ask you a question. A lot of people, I know for myself, the idea of a library. I haven't gone to the library in a long time because it was normally a place of like you would go do research. But you've evolved the whole. It's more about community now, I guess, right?
It's both. Of course, literacy, books.
Right.
Get that kid in the library as early as possible. But yeah, it's a lot about community. We have a lot of groups that come in that use the library. And also we have just tons of events for all ages. So it really is a community space for everybody. And books, and literacy, and lifelong learning.
Right.
And we have a seed library. And we have a library of things.
Oh, cool. But
So-
I imagine kids still come into.
Oh,
I mean,
yes,
that's such
yes.
when you were a kid, going to the library was an event.
Yes, well, I like to say it's the happiest and noisiest place on Main Street sometimes because
That's
we just have
awesome.
You're not
so
shushing
much-
everybody all the time?
We really don't do that much. No.
Oh my God, that was part of the fun. Shh.
Oh, that was fun for you. No, we don't do that anymore.
No, bummer.
Any government money, or do you have to raise all your own funds?
Well, our funds are taxpayer funds, but, the IMLS, which is the Institute of Museum and Library Services, was just gutted by an executive order at the end of March,
I wish I could act surprised.
But there was a judge actually, just yesterday, did a ruling that they will go forward with court cases because that agency is the only federal agency for libraries in the United States. And it filters all the fund money, well, not all, but a lot of the grant money for especially small rural libraries that will be very, very hurt by this. And, we are doing a renovation at our library, and we're applying for a construction grant that would be filtered through that agency. So we want to make sure that people
that
are
keeps-
advocating for libraries in general because they're so important for so many people.
Are you public about what percentage is private donations and what percentage is government funded? And if that government funding went away, would you be able to survive on the private donations?
Yes, we'd be able to survive on our tax money that we get locally.
I
We
see.
could
And
survive.
that has nothing to do with anything.
Nothing
to
federal.
do.
Nothing federal. Yeah.
Federal is more services, grants, things like that, that help us help others, and summer reading and bookmobiles and,
There's
you
still a
know,
bookmobile.
there's still bookmobiles,
That is
not
aw-
out here.
That is
but-
awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
What inspired you to go into becoming a librarian?
Well, I love books, reading, and I just,
In a noisy family?
in a
You just
noisy
kept going, "Shh."
family.
Bill, I told you, we don't do that. Okay, so, but read as a child, like
Oh,
a
yeah,
voracious reader?
all the
and
time.
said, "There
Voracious
must be
reader my
money
whole
in this
life.
if I just think about it."
I didn't think about it that way, but there's not money in it. There's not.
But there's great
it's
joy.
yes, and very rewarding because
Okay.
people
What
need
other
our help.
fundraising activities do you have this summer?
So before we do fundraising, I just want to talk about the Pride Parade because we do have a
Oh.
bunch of libraries getting together and marching in the Pride Parade
Cool.
for
Well,
freedom to
apparently
read.
Patrick's not going, but
Patrick
I
won't
am.
be- you could march with
We learned
us.
that.
Maybe I might. I'm
march with
feeling this
us.
call that I need to do it.
Because a lot of the books that are banned, the majority of books that are banned are books that have LGBT characters.
Oh, I'm really glad you brought this
And
up.
Oh, that's-
so
yeah.
it's,
No, I meant that.
He meant it.
Turner laughs at everything I say.
no, it's true because
I was dumbfounded that they pulled I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings off shelves.
well, that's DEI, which is
Yeah,
amended.
yeah, So I immediately went to Amazon and bought 2 copies.
That's the beauty of banning books is everybody then wants to read it.
Yeah.
Wait, the libraries are being wokey and have to throw away the things that aren't.
Well, federal libraries. This particular book was taken off the shelves of the Naval Academy,
Right.
West Point, and Pikes Peak Air Force Academy,
Right.
and whatever federal colleges there are, and it dumbfounds me. But you can still buy Mein Kampf.
That's still on the shelf, 2 copies at
Yeah,
the
isn't
Naval
that lovely?
Academy. Yeah.
At the Naval Academy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
that's what I heard. But it could happen anywhere, though. Don't be complacent.
So, what other books have been controversial that have been pulled?
Just name one.
Oh, no, there you go.
What about Sons and Lovers, D.H. Lawrence?
D.H. Lawrence, Sons and Lovers.
I do not know if that has been pulled.
That's a
And they-
favorite of Turner's, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
To Kill a Mockingbird. How
Oh,
about
why?
that?
Why?
My favorite childhood book.
Required reading in high school, I'm dumbfounded.
Yeah.
It is crazy. Well, that's why we have to support our libraries.
Because
do.
the mockingbird was unarmed? What's the
It
thinking?
could be.
What's
It doesn't even-
where's
They
the-
were upset that the no mockingbirds were actually killed. It wasn't a hunting book.
So what are we going to do with the dough this fall? At the
Oh, so the
library?
dough. Well, we're raising some more dough this summer. We have actually the Friends of the Library are doing another event besides Friday at 5, a pour and paint, as in pour
pouring.
and paint
Oh my!
en plein air.
Oh.
So we have local artist, I get his name right, Eric Dever will come and we'll all be outside in our beautiful backyard and we'll have some pink canvases, some wine, we'll be painting and having some, yeah, it's really fun.
Mr. Wonderful invested in that on Shark Tank. And there's
Oh, what the
there's-
wine and
there's
painting?
a chain of those where you can
Oh.
go and in a mall and
Oh,
you can
no.
paint.
Oh, that's
and drink
awesome.
Some wine.
Add a
That's
gummy
not
and it's
ours.
even more fun.
We have our own home. Then we are going to have Boogie Down for Books, which will be a dance night.
Oh, cool.
The Universalist, Unitarian Universalist in Sag Harbor. We have Touch Dancing Studios is going to come do a lesson, and then we'll have a DJ, and we'll have all kinds of fun. That is June 21st.
Truly, this is like a hub for the community, the Bridgehampton Library.
Thank you.
knew?
It is.
You go by the library and think it's sleepy.
It's not.
This is not a
We're
sleepy
wide
library.
Shushing, they're
awake.
yelling. Come on, let's get there. What's the website for it?
myhamptonlibrary.org.
My Hampton Library.
myhamptonlibrary.org.
I would think if they had a dance party with the library, they'd have one of those silent discos.
Yeah, they do that.
You know, with
They do
the
that at
earphones and
Yale.
everyone just goes,
Yeah.
shh,
Yeah.
you know?
We have
That's
the wrong
fun
idea
too.
about librarians,
You
don't
do.
we?
It's time to get up to
Shake
date.
that.
Get up to date on that. The newest edition.
And so the money that we raise this fall, you're moving the library 6 inches or something? What are you-
No, we're just doing we're doing some interior renovations, expanding some rooms, building all, because we are so busy that we're actually turning away people from some of our programs.
That is awesome.
Isn't it great?
That is awesome.
So we have to expand some of the rooms and also expand the room for teens, because their teen room's about the size of this table. So they can
If you're
fit like
listening to this, we're at an
3
8 by
teens,
8 or
their
5 by
sneakers
5.
and their backpacks, and then it's full.
Are
So
we getting more computers?
we're getting more computers, and we're updating our technology, which is very important, because people come in a library, they do their work. Not everybody actually has reliable internet.
Do you guys still have
in Bridgehampton.
microfiche in the library?
We don't.
Oh,
I'm so sorry to say.
gosh, that was.
Yeah.
I'd like to take the microfiche out from the New York Times in
And that was
1927.
every 70s or 80s movie where somebody had to go look something up before there was.
And you would scan it through that machine.
You know what? We might have some stowed away somewhere.
In the basement
if you'd
somewhere.
like to come.
I guess that's
Take
true
a
where
look at it.
technology
Right.
sits.
Yeah, if you're going to do
Generally-
new technology, you should spend a little on the old technology.
Okay,
Let's get
we'll-
Laserdisc in there.
we'll
Let's
do
get
I do have a
telegraphs.
I do have a rotary phone in my house, so I am a little bit
He
nostalgic.
calls Commissioner Gordon on it. Hey,
It's a
what's-
real bitch when I call the bank though. They're like, press 1. I'm like, ooh.
That's
I
not
forgot
real.
I can't use this
He's
phone.
making this up.
I do have a rotary phone.
What would we do without a librarian? And
I
what would we
don't
do without a
know.
librarian on this edition of AirHamptons?
Can I
Thank
ask
you.
Lisa one question before she
Please.
goes? What's your favorite book of all time?
That is impossible.
Is it really?
Yes.
Do you get that a lot?
No, but I do get a lot. What's the hot book right now? So that's why I was ready today with my summer reading list.
No, but you don't have
did
one
homework,
favorite
right?
book
I do.
of all
Well,
time.
well, To Kill a Mockingbird was my childhood favorite book.
There you go.
For sure.
What was yours, Bill?
Yes.
Something with James Bond.
Probably.
With Thunderball, I think that was the. Well, I like Casino Royale.
And you know, I think I've told you mine because I think I gave it to you as a gift. I give it as a gift to people,
Okay.
especially people who lived in New York.
Babar.
No, Time and Again by Jack Finney.
Oh yes, you did give me that.
It's probably one of the most magical books I ever read, and the only book other than I think A Tale of Two Cities I've read twice.
Wow. It's in my pile to read, I promise. And we'll get to it this summer. That is
There you go.
all about summer reads and.
Lisa, that was awesome.
Yeah, Lisa, thank you so much.
Oh,
for
can I say
joining.
one more thing?
Final words, yes.
Summer reading program. Sign up your kids, sign up adults, and there's also a summer tour where every library in Suffolk County gets a passport, and then you visit other libraries and get stamped. And then you
Cool.
can be in a raffle, and it's fun to visit other libraries.
That is
Wow.
cool.
Summer
what do you make
tour.
a year in overdue charges?
Nothing, because we don't charge overdue. Thank you for asking.
No more? That's a
No
thing
more
of the past?
overdue. If you never
Don't you
return
miss
the
that
book,
3 cents a day?
Not really.
It was 5 cents a day when we were kids. That's
And then they had that
Yes.
free day?
Yeah.
Where I had to bring back the
Oh, the Amnesty
Encyclopedia
Day. You had an
Britannica.
Amnesty
Yeah, I brought
Day.
the whole
Oh my
set
gosh.
back in Traverse City, Michigan.
Well, if you haven't returned a book, we're going to charge you for it eventually. So you've got that.
Okay, good.
if only Columbia House did the same thing and gave me a day of amnesty.
Listen, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
joining
Thanks
us.
for
Thank
having
you.
me.
This
Thank
music
you.
about libraries from Jim Turner is for you.
I love
great.
Bridgehampton Library. It's colonial front. It's high tech back, and the artist reading in the back. I've been there many times in the garden and listened to some marvelous authors.
I'm
So was that a rap song? What was that? Okay.
It's English rap.
Thanks, Lisa. Hey,
Thanks, Lisa.
because the Hamptons needed a good radio program, and this one will have to do until that one comes along. This is AirHamptons with Patrick McLaughlin of HamptonsChatter.com. I'm Bill McCuddy, and you're listening to our one-man band, Mr. Jim Turner. Hey, speaking of bands, there is so much musically going on out here.
Can I just say, Lisa's going to be shocked when I show up to all the events at Bridgehampton Library this
Yes,
summer.
I think we all will be.
I mean, that was great. Thank you. So
and-
really
and
informative.
I know that I have done a couple of them, but the Fridays at 5 really are great. Really great. Jim doing now a whole album, apparently.
Woo!
Down to LTV. As I found people out there, and they talked to listen to me. Dan Ratina was in Bridgehampton Town, now he's Southampton Shore. You want to get a laugh? Go back to Bill Cuddy, he'll make you think floor.
Thank you, sir. Hey, listen. listen, Jim, let's keep you in the conversation for a second here because we're going to talk about summer events at Guildhall. And they're going to do some concerts with John Cameron Mitchell.
Who is, you know who he is?
Yeah.
Hedwig and the Angry
That's
Inch
right.
was his claim to fame.
And Wynton Marsalis is coming June 29th with Jazz at Lincoln Center.
One of my favorite albums of all time is when he did a tribute to Vince Guaraldi.
Oh, really?
Wynton Marsalis, Snoopy and
Yeah.
Charlie Brown and Vince Guaraldi did all that stuff. Cast Your Fate to the Wind, another
That's
one.
June 29th.
Marsalis.
Also on July 12th, the New York Philharmonic is coming to Guildhall this summer. We're talking about on AirHamptons if you're just joining us. And into the conversation, we're adding our one-man band, the very gifted Jim Turner. We're lucky that he comes every time we ask him to.
Thank God, Jim.
And the reason I want to ask you about, I know you're friendly with, he's been a guest on this show, G.E. Smith, and he does a series called Portraits. Tell
Yes.
people what Portraits is all about.
Well, this is, number one, he's a person who's backed up and played for some of the most famous people in the world, David Bowie, Mick Jagger, Hall & Oates, down the line.
Right.
But he also has been doing this portraits thing where he features people who, and he's so good at supporting, he plays along with them and he features them, he interviews them, and they play along with him. So that's what it is. He's a great host. He's got his experience from Saturday Night Live. He's a
That's
very
right.
gentle, intelligent guy, and he's a great host and a very supportive person.
He and his wife make their home in Amagansett.
Correct.
And he's a big supporter of Guildhall. And the two artists that he's introducing on July 19th and August 23rd, I believe the 19th is Louis Cato. Does that name ring a bell, or is that somebody he's discovered?
I'm not sure, but the other person I do know quite a lot
Yeah,
about.
that's Lucas Nelson. And you were telling me who he
Lucas
is.
Nelson is a son of Willie Nelson. He and his
cool.
brother Micah are both, brothers from his present marriage. He's got a lot of kids. And, I can just imagine those kids at the feet of Willie, that they're great musicians. They're not just
Holding
in
a
the
ball.
shadow. I mean, the first
Passing.
thing that happened a long time ago, they became a backup band for Neil Young.
Holy cow.
Like 10 or 15 years ago. Lucas Nelson has a guitar named after him with Gibson, which is a Les Paul Jr. So they're terrific musicians, and they're coming out on their own. And I can't imagine a greater mentor to have, because Willie is a genius.
Well, Willie's a genius, and GE is the kind of guy
Brilliant.
that can get people to come out to this thing for Guildhall, which is amazing. Again, happening on July 19th and August 23rd as part of the summer events at Guildhall. Also, right now, through July 13th, there is artist-made furniture. Jim, did you make any furniture for Guildhall?
Not
Is
in
there a
the
Jim Turner
not in the
ottoman or
literal
Jim-
sense, just
No?
figuratively.
Interesting. Artist-made furniture.
So I guess it's probably very
You know what it may be?
conceptual
It
and-
might be like, sort of some of these benefits that they had, like the retreat had the Artists Against Abuse, they would do the plates.
Right.
And then
Dan
I know
Rizzi made those.
And Dan Rizzi made them. And then they would do ones with surfboards, and maybe this is something like that where people
like
do
a Liechtenstein Lazy Boy recliner.
or a cow, or like Cow Parade or something like that. That's
All right,
my
I want
guess.
that.
Artist-made furniture.
Also, if you're a movie buff, at the Guildhall, reopened recently and can show movies again after that renovation. The Hamptons films Summer Docs in July and August. Also on July 16th, something called, they do a children's program, and Lisa was talking about that at the library. But at Guildhall in East Hampton, physical comedy for kids on July 16th. They're going to learn safe pratfalls, I guess.
Oh, joy
and
for parents.
maybe-
My kid's going to learn
Maybe
how
some
to...
padding's involved
Oh
with
my
that
God.
one.
I can't think of anything more.
And then the Dance Theater of Harlem is doing a workshop for kids July
Wow.
23rd and 25th. That will be amazing. And finally, there's a comedy dog show August 27th. I have no idea what's involved.
My dog's
with that.
hilarious.
You bring a dog and he does impressions.
Does a routine-
I
does a
don't know.
routine?
I don't know. All this summer at Guildhall, guildhall.org, I believe is where you
Yeah,
find
you met
out.
my dog Ralph, and Ralph, you must admit he's pretty funny.
Now, we're going to talk about restaurants.
Let's go back to Ralph, my dog.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Ralph's a funny dog. He's a
Okay,
cool
what-
dog.
You got a.
He's
you
a
got
great dog.
You got some shtick with the dog?
No, not at all. He's a beagle. Beagles are funny. Beagles are funny dogs, right? They are. They're annoying, but they're funny. Yeah, anyway. So go ahead,
Like the
movies. Let's
Seinfeld
go.
routine.
Let's go movies. Let's
Those
go.
beagles are hilarious.
Are we doing movies or restaurants? What do you want to talk about?
Well, we have lots to talk about. You pick. We've got a 10 best list for the summer of movies, and about 15 minutes to go over everything
Well, you
else.
know
By the way, if you just joined us, this is AirHamptons
So,
with Patrick and Bill.
I don't know if Jim and you guys know this, but back in the day, Bill and I used to do entertainment news together. So,
Yes.
and I used to know all the movies coming out and who was in it, what studio, blah, 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 blah,
Right.
who the publicist was. I'm not quite as in tune with it as I once was. But let's talk about what movies.
All right, well, before we get to the movies, maybe since we were talking about music, we should talk about the summer concert series at Canoe Place. So, Murmur, do you
Big
know
name,
Brian
so.
Kelly from Murmur by any chance, Jim?
I
He's
don't.
He's a big muckety muck.
Murmur,
agent guy.
the REM album?
No, Murmur is the company or the organization, the booking organization that's putting together the Hamptons Summer Series at Canoe Place.
Oh, cool.
So
Oh,
last summer they
yeah.
had Jeff Goldblum sold out. They had a comedian named Mark Normand sold out. He's coming back.
Right.
They've got an incredible ballroom. And this year the Gypsy Kings kick it off
Cool.
in June. Then Amy Mann is coming.
I love. By the way, did you ever hear? She did the soundtrack to Magnolia, that movie with
yeah.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
That's
that
a
was
real
all she-
wow. That's a real wow.
Oh yeah, no, and she's a huge talent. That's Thursday,
and married
June
to
12th.
her husband is. She's married to Sean Penn's brother.
Oh, Chris?
Yeah. Who's
Really?
also a musician. Yeah, isn't that interesting?
Yeah. Chris Penn's
You
still
sound
with
you
us?
sound thrilled.
Still no. I'm
Oh no, the other Penn. No, Chris Penn died. It's
Yeah.
it's the other one. One
third
of them.
Penn?
Yeah, who's a singer also.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to believe you. Steel Pulse, Sunday, June 29th
Oh,
on their
yeah.
50th anniversary tour. Graham Nash in July, already sold out.
That's a bummer.
Wow.
June.
But it would have
They're
been. I wish he brought Crosby, Stills with him.
They're not doing that. July 18th, comedian Francis Ellis has just been added. The 20th, Trevor Hall. And then we get into the Buena Vista Orchestra in July.
Now a Broadway show. The
Ooh.
Buena Vista Social Club is now a
Wow,
Broadway
really?
show.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
And Guster and the Mountain Goats, do you know, or Gooster and the Mountain Goats, do you know them?
Gee, no.
All right.
You know who they are?
Jody Gambino, our ace floor man, seems to
They're no
be
flock of
impressed.
seagulls, but who is?
Rufus Wainwright joins on Saturday, August 9th. The great comedy of Modi.
Oh my God, he is hysterical.
Modi and Mark Norman, two big comedy
Can you hook me
names.
up with the Modi?
And
Can we get
yes,
good tickets? You'll
make
hook me
that
up, man.
happen.
Hook me up. Modi's
So
funny.
it's a big summer at Canoe Place.
But by the way, Modi has tons of stuff on YouTube.
very fun.
Really funny guy.
Yes,
really
yes.
funny guy.
Maybe we'll get him to be on the weekend show that we do here.
Yeah, because they've been so. Yeah.
Well, no, it's a long drive from Canoe Place. You don't know.
I'm
By the
writing
way,
a note for my friend Jill, who loves Modi.
I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that the Lighthouse benefit that they do in Montauk every year,
Yeah.
the same Brian Kelly that is from Murmur books those. So that's the John Mulaney's and the maybe, I can't say, but a big name this summer. It's going to be a surprise. Amy Schumer has worked at that.
Oh, cool.
So,
Well, you
yeah.
remember the weekend show? We're like, oh, so and so's coming in. We're like, have they gotten here yet? Have they gotten here yet? Have they got? Oh, we need to stretch.
We would
Did we
love
get-
it. We would love it if you watched
Did
that
Kelsey
show, too.
Grammer? Did Kelsey Grammer finally arrive? Oh, did he call? No. Did he text? No.
got busy.
He got busy. Yeah, he's busy
Hey,
on
I
that.
wonder if that's going to continue this year.
No, it's
We
gone.
didn't-
They already canceled it.
No. The whole idea of these Mark Wahlberg's vodka or tequila and those guys coming out for like, I don't know, a few hours. They made the rounds.
I wish I knew the guy who started that vodka company with Mark Wahlberg did our summer show last year. If only
right.
If only we spoke to him before Mark Wahlberg came out. Though we could have had Mark Wahlberg on.
Didn't happen.
Didn't
Maybe
happen.
Won't happen this year. I think we'd have heard about it. It's June now. Okay, so we're going to talk in a moment about fashion trends and about drinking. Are you watching your Friends and Neighbors on Apple that just
I have
wound-
not.
that just
I'm
stopped?
watching Hacks. That's the only thing I'm watching.
Hacks season 4 was one of my critics' picks on a television show on PBS that I do with a guy named Neil Rosen called Talking Pictures. And this season 4, I'll tell you what's great about Hacks, since you got me off on this. She's a comedian. For those of you who don't know,
Right.
it's
The
the
Hannah
great Jean
Einbinder is
Smart,
it?
Hannah Einbinder, and Paul W. Downs, who's the agent to both of them, is the brains behind the whole thing.
He
He's
created
kind
the
of
show and
showrunner.
he directed it.
Writes
That's
and
what it
directs.
was.
It's very funny. What I love about that show is she's an aging stand-up comic. What I love is every season had a perfect ending, and they decided to do another one, and I went, they won't pull it off, and they do. And
Right.
this season 4, which is up now, is as good as any of the others.
The adversarial relationship between the two main characters, is getting a little long in the tooth.
Well,
I
it's probably going to finish this year, and that'll be fine. And
Yeah.
yes, it could have finished last year, but I'm glad you're watching Hacks. I like Hacks a lot. The reason I brought up Your Friends and Neighbors is because they just had their big finale last week.
it's with John Hamm. That's the show with John Hamm.
Hamm, and he's coming back. And the reason I brought this show up is because you know what it's about. He was a hedge fund
I
guy
have
like many Hamptonites, and he loses his job, and he starts stealing from.
Oh,
his
I did see
friends
the
and
trailer.
neighbors.
I saw the trailer for it.
It's very clever. It's his best thing since Mad Men. And
I couldn't watch Mad
since
Men.
it takes, all right, well, that's another rabbit hole. We'll drop down another time.
No, seriously.
but-
Let me just say real quick. The most unlikable characters on any television show I've ever seen.
Yeah, but that's what was great about it.
No. I'm like,
It made you mad.
I don't. I want to watch a show where I want to spend time with.
You didn't like Betty? How about the kids?
I didn't
They were
like
nice
anybody. I'm like, I
kids.
didn't like anybody on the show.
Well,
Like-
anyway.
Like even like on Cheers, you didn't love Diane, but you liked her.
You may not like anybody on this one, but Your Friends and Neighbors is coming back. And my suggestion for this television show or this radio show, if you're listening to us on WLIW-FM, and by the way, thank you very much, 88.3, I think that they should do a season out in the Hamptons. There are plenty of places he could knock off out here.
Oh, yeah.
And the show is based in New York. It's not really shot there, but you can tell it's kind of Connecticut, New York. And I think he should start a crime spree out here in the Hamptons in season 2.
Well, there is. I have a friend who just had their car stolen.
Oh, yeah.
From the
Is that
beach.
happening again?
It's happening again. You don't leave your keys in the
Oh,
car,
my God.
people.
Keys in the
because the side mirrors are out when the keys are in the car. And
Oh, good pointer.
I have a friend who parked this.
Columbo, thank you for that tip.
Speaking of Columbo, Poker Face coming back to TV. I love that show.
Really?
Oh, very good, very good. Natasha Lyonne, very good.
Oh, she's great, but it was a different storyline every week.
Yeah, it was like
didn't have a
Columbo,
through-
but it was sort of a Columbo knockoff. Watch it again. Oh, but
Your
yeah,
Friends
so
and Neighbors is on Apple TV.
so a friend of mine went
Coming
to
back next season.
it wasn't Main Beach, but Georgia, and parked their car there. Went for a walk, and they came back, and their car was gone.
Jeez, how? In what way was it stolen?
They left their key. How was it stolen? Someone
keys
got
in
in
the
and drove
car.
it away.
Well, you
But the
remind
keys were in
me.
the car. The
I
keys were
briefly
in the car.
mentioned this. This has been in the news last year. The number of cars robbers, and here's what it is: people leave not only their keys but their wallets in the car.
Right.
Ah.
Jim, I've seen your car. You're safe. But the point is, the others listening now in a Range Rover or a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, they're in trouble because it was happening. And I'll tell you an interesting story. They started driving down the LIE, and when they get into New Jersey, the New York cops stop following them.
Oh yeah.
And so by the time my friend, this was the next day, had the tracker of where their Range Rover was,
They'd know where to take the
it was
tracker.
in a cargo. It was at sea already.
Right.
Amazing.
And they just said
Oh,
bye-bye.
yeah.
I have an Apple AirTag in my car hidden too, because they know how to dismantle the GPS things. Although, I guess if your car gets stolen, do you get a new one from the insurance company? I don't know.
Yeah, but if you lease it and it's
I own
not
mine.
worth as much, on the
It's a
market-
hassle. You don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
It's a hassle.
Be
either way.
careful out there. Don't go to the beach without your mirrors in.
And I have to stop leaving all my Cartier jewels in the car.
No, just leave
He
them on the
drives a
dashboard with your
BMW.
wallet.
I left Le Coeur de la Mer in the car. Second Titanic reference this hour.
We talked about that already. Hey, let's get to the movies because we
Okay,
can talk
go.
about fashion and drinking at the end of the show.
Drinking, yay.
The movies that have already come out for the summer include Mission Impossible and a Minecraft and Thunderbolts. Loved Mission Impossible. Saw it in IMAX. Love it in IMAX.
Okay, let's talk about
Highly recommend it.
the Minecraft movie. That's a huge hit.
Had no idea that it was
What?
going to ever do anything like that. The reviews weren't that great.
It's
the
a teen,
critics
it's
said
a kid,
no.
it's a kid movie, right?
Yeah, absolutely. On its way to making $1 billion, if it hasn't already crossed as you're listening to this program. Another one, How to Train Your Dragon or Lilo and Stitch, both things, or Zootopia 2, all things you have to take the kids to. There are no more adult movies. Did you see Black Bag?
No,
like,
it's I
last
know it's
month?
on iTunes, and I heard it's really good.
It's an
Actually,
adult movie. It's cool.
who directed Black Bag again? Oh, Steven Soderbergh.
Steven Soderbergh.
Yeah,
who
that's
keeps
right.
retiring like Celine Dion and coming back. The one I'm looking forward to is Brad Pitt. It's Apple, but it's not coming to Apple first. It's coming to the theaters, and it's coming to IMAX, and it's called F1.
Right.
Now, I've seen Rush, the Ron Howard movie. I've seen Le Mans. I've seen Grand Prix.
She
I've seen
driven
all
by
of those.
my favorite director, Rennie Harlan?
Yeah, yeah, you weren't a big Rennie Harlan.
No, I did love Rennie Harlan. Remember The Long Kiss Goodnight, one of
Who
my
called
favorite
you and
movies.
chewed you out? Was that Curtis Hanson?
No, oh no. You know who it was? It was Joel Silver called and chewed me out.
He chewed everybody out.
Yeah, I
Hey,
know.
speaking of Joel Silver, are you watching The Studio on Apple?
No.
The Studio with Seth Rogen is playing well, he's
Joel
not
play.
exactly Joel Silver, but he's running a studio. He's a young studio head, and it's a lot of very inside baseball stuff. Mrs. McCuddy can't watch it. She's like, "This is show. It's for you and 2 other people."
Well, that's
But-
what I'm tired of these that's why I won't watch it. He was on Morning Joe, which I do watch, talking about the show, the studio, and I'm like, the Hollywood Insider thing is it's done to death. I don't find it interesting. I have nothing in common with these people. I can't relate to it, and I have no desire to watch it. But I will say Hacks is an insider thing, but I enjoy it. So
Yeah, but it's funny, and people get funny.
Right.
All right, let's talk.
Oh
about
wait, can we say one last movie?
Sure.
All right, Jim. And what about you?
No, there's-
the
I
new
got 2 more movies.
the new Superman movie.
Yeah, where do you go with that? I can't wait. Yeah, I mean,
The first one is
okay.
one of my favorite movies of all time. Like if it's
I
on
know,
TV,
but,
I flip, I
What
stop.
are we up to? Spider-Man 44? I mean, how many times do we go back to the planet and Kryptonite?
Well, they're all
and-
derivative of each other, and they're all the same movie over and over again. But I love.
Okay, here's something that isn't derivative,
Okay,
and it's
go ahead.
brand new. And tell us about the plot of West Hampton. It was shot out here.
Haunted by an accident he caused in high school, a damaged filmmaker is forced to go back to the scene of the tragedy and face the old friends whose lives he's ruined in a town that disdains him. That sounds like a real estate agent story. Anyway, it's directed and co-written by Christian Nielsen.
Yeah,
Never-
but here's who's in it that I think we care about because she's been on this.
Ah,
network.
Tova Feldshuh.
Tova Feldshuh.
And Dan Lauria for the one year. Tova Feldshuh was supposed to do our show. No show.
No, she did our show. She came. Here's another one. Please.
Is Tova here yet? Oh,
No.
she's going to be here in a minute. She's going to be here in a minute.
I'm going to send somebody out to the parking lot. We're going to get guests.
Okay.
But finally, there's the June 20th, 28 years later. Do you
I saw
remember
the first
28
one.
days
I saw
later?
the first one.
Yeah. So this is Danny Boyle again.
Right.
Cillian Murphy, is that how you say
Cillian,
that?
Cillian, I don't know.
He was in the first one. He's executive producing this one. But get this cast: Jodie Comer. She's been in everything. The
have no
Last
idea.
Duel. She's fantastic. Aaron Taylor Johnson.
I know who he is.
Probably going to be the next. My daughter.
He was going to be
babysat
the
for
next
him.
James
I
Bond
think he is
until he
gonna
had
be.
that movie come out. That
Yeah,
bombed.
that we won't talk about that. But he's good in that. Jack O'Connell and Rafe Fiennes is in this thing.
Rafe.
Yeah.
Rafe.
They. It's 28 years later. That's all I know. There's zombies. That was the first zombie thing. I'm not going to say that started it because Dawn of the
Dawn of
Dead,
the
and all
Dead,
that,
yeah.
all of those. But this was the reinvention. Hey, listen, that's almost all the time we have, but I
New
did want to
restaurants.
tell you
New restaurant.
about the new restaurants, and I have a surprise for you in our new restaurant.
Okay, so
Jody, how much time do we have?
Jody, how much time do we have? You, Jody, tell it.
3 minutes.
3 minutes. Okay, so coming out here from the city, apparently this restaurant Ruby Rosa is supposed to be the hot thing. We have Crazy Pizza coming
Right.
into the old Kizzy T's.
Oh, good, another
Bamboo.
pizza place.
Well, yeah, we have a lot of. You know what? It's a lot of mozzarella this summer. Clogging arteries more than Route 27.
Boom!
Boom.
He's here all week.
Yeah. And then and then they're opening. I love this. Swifties is coming to the Hedges Inn. Because nothing says Hamptons like Swifty Lazar's restaurant. Guy,
And wh-
like a Hollywood agent. Anyway, go ahead.
And it's going to be at the Hedges Inn, which is famous for.
It's a drive-through hotel. If you don't know.
Nobody
Like
got
every-
hurt in that, but a kid drove right in.
No, not just once, twice, like 3 times. The cars would go down Woods Lane and go
Across
straight
the
ahead.
pond and
Somehow
circles.
over a pond. I
No,
don't
no,
know.
they missed the pond. They missed
Oh,
the pond.
Is there an action ramp there that,
I don't know.
Michael Bay put in or
I
something?
just think they should have put a drive-through there and just why keep fighting it? You know?
Okay, look, one of the things that's
Oh.
opened is the Sag Main General Store with a $5 biscuit that I have to say is very good. So I
Do you know
dropped
that Melissa
by.
Cohn provides financing for shoppers at the shoppers at
Yes,
the
and
Sag
she
General
has
Store?
renamed herself Melissa Scone. And I want you to try a biscuit bite. Jody, come over and
Biscuit
have a
bite.
biscuit bite.
I do what I do to my dog. I'll see you
They're
guys
like
later.
like a crouton.
Oh, wow.
So you got, they're a little softer when it's the biscuit.
I remember, I'm looking at the price tag. That's not that bad.
Our buddy Joe Isidori is bringing back Arthur and Sons, but
And he's doing you
he's
were
got
saying.
a burger concept from the city that he's bringing to the Backroom Burger. That's in Bridgehampton.
Backroom burger.
I said we were going to talk about drinking. We're not, but you should know that a lot of things are going to be made with agave this summer. That's all I can tell you. So go where
I'm
they're
eating more of these
serving.
bites. These are good.
And Forbes,
Does it sound good on the mic?
Forbes says the top shelf demand is slowing and consumers don't want to spend a lot for drinks, so stay away from the Hamptons. That is this edition of, what do we
Thank you,
call
Bill.
this? AirHamptons with Patrick
AirHamptons.
McLaughlin, Bill McCuddy, and Jim Turner. If you've listened to us by choice, we thank you very, very much, and we will see you back here next month.
Yay, Jim. Those are good.
Tell the crew to come out. There's more.
I was down there with Bill McCulley at LTV. Patrick McLaughlin happened to top in that day to see what he had to see. Getting down LTV, getting down LTV. A Hampton bound, Hampton bound.